How to restore a barbell to its former glory. All right, let's get to it. Now, all barbells will need some maintenance from time to time. This is a bare steel bar. Now, a bare steel bar is pretty much generally regarded to be unmatched in terms of just how it kind of feels, the grip that you have, but like a thoroughbred, it's going to require a little bit more maintenance. Now, not much. Really, the best thing that you can do for any barbell, a bare steel bar included, is to use it on a regular basis. Just the natural oils of your hands will actually help in this situation. Not using a barbell allows the rust to build up. Now, we have a bunch of bare steel bars at the gym, and I repeated this process, and quite frankly, it really did not much at all because those bars get used on a very regular basis. So the bars are already in pretty good shape, even though we don't do a whole lot of maintenance with them. But this particular bar, this is a bare steel BNR 2.0 bar. But this will apply to any barbell really, and truly, and more specifically, even bare steel bars. For a period of time, I work out at Testify as often or more than I work out here at home, and the same is true for my wife. So these barbells don't get nearly as much use as they would at the gym, where they get used by a whole bunch of people. And on top of that, there's a period of time when we were moving where these bars didn't get used at all. So some rust built up on them. Now we've used them since then. We've used them for a long period of time. I don't do a great job of doing the occasional maintenance. The occasional maintenance, like once a month, takes about 2 minutes to do. You apply some oil to it. You take a brass bristle brush, you rub that oil in. We've got a video on how to do that. We'll link to that below, but it's very easy. It takes about 2 minutes, doesn't take very long, but we never do that. And despite the fact these barbells still work great, nonetheless, it was kind of time to take a look at these and kind of do some rust busting, as it were. So that's what we're going to do in this video. Now, if you've got a barbell that's real bad and it needs a complete barbell makeover, we've got a video on that as well. That's going to be a more extensive process. It's going to take at least a day. It's going to involve a vinegar bath. You're also going to use a drill like we do here, but this really doesn't take that long, somewhere between like a half an hour and an hour. And again, this is with a barbell that I have left pretty much untouched for a long period of time. So the process is pretty simple. You're going to need a couple things, and we'll link to some of these items below, but quite frankly, you probably have a lot of these items already, or you can find them at your local hardware store. Nonetheless, if you want to get them on Amazon or something like that, we'll link to some options below. You're going to need a drill. You're going to need a 2-inch wire cup brush. You're going to need some old rags or some old t-shirts. You're going to need some 3-in-1 oil, and you're going to need a brass bristle brush, a handheld brass bristle brush, and you're going to need some eye protection. I would strongly recommend that. Having been a guy who's gotten metal embedded in his eye behind his contacts before, you don't want to mess with that. And with these wire cup bristle brushes, there will be these bristles that over time, they will start kind of flying off. Like I got tiny little bristles landing on my legs. It doesn't hurt or anything like that, but you certainly don't want to get one of those in your eyes. So wear some eye protection. All right, so how to begin. So you're going to set your barbell on. I used 2 sawhorses, but you can use really whatever you want. You just probably want to get it up, somewhere decently up off the ground, so you're not having to crouch down or sit on the floor or something like that. And then you're simply going to take your drill and your 2-inch wire cup brush, and you're going to start taking that to the barbell. And depending on how much rust you've got on the bar, it may take very little time. You might be just doing a couple little spots, or it may take a while. But you want to make sure you cover the entire length of the bar. I didn't spend nearly as much time on the actual sleeves of the bar, that is to say the part of the bar where you put the plates, because the act of sliding the plates on and off tends to do a pretty good job on rust as it is. But in terms of the shaft of the bar, and especially the collars of the bar, the things that, not the collars that you put onto the bar, but the collars that are a part of the bar already, the things that keep the plates from sliding any further on, those basically never get touched by you, and they never have plates sliding over them. So because of that, they will tend to build up more rust there almost than anywhere else. So anyway, you're going to take your drill and your wire cup brush, and you're going to take that to the barbell. And you're just going to spend some quality time with it, just trying to bust that rust off, spending some time with it. And then after that, you're going to wipe that down just to make sure you don't have any dust or rust remnants on it or anything like that. Just wipe it down would be my recommendation. And then take some 3-in-1 oil. You're going to apply the 3-in-1 oil. I would recommend putting some rags down so you don't get oil in case anything drips. I think I was reasonably good at not getting any drips, but you're always going to have a couple. But you want to make sure that you don't have that like on your driveway or your garage floor, your gym floor or something like that. So put some rags down and then apply some 3-in-1 oil on the bar. And then you can rub that in with a brush, you can rub that in with a rag, but I would actually recommend that you rub it in with a brass bristle brush. That'll help with rust removal, the 3-in-1 oil in general, and it will also help apply a protective coating to your bar. So you're going to put that 3-in-1 oil on your barbell, and then you're going to brush it in, my goodness, with that handheld bristle brush. And it's already going to look tremendously better after you take the drill to the barbell, and now it's going to look even better. I mean, it's going to start looking like a brand new bare steel bar all over again. Once you're done with that, you're going to have a lot of excess oil still on it. You're certainly not going to want to grab the bar at this point if you were actually training with it. So you're going to take a rag, obviously, wipe off your hands, and then take a clean rag and wipe down your barbell just to make sure that you don't have any excess oil on the bar, because you certainly don't want that on there the next time you train. Those wire cup brushes are real handy as a drill attachment. If some of you out there have some more experience using those type of attachments than me, I've used them before, but I'm sure there's some experts out there who have some better advice, or maybe some things to tell you to do or tell you not to do. So if any of you have some good ideas on how to improve on the approach that I took here, please let me know in the comments below. That will certainly help other people out. But if you have to use it for as long as I did, and like I said, this took about somewhere around an hour to do this, and I wasn't really keeping track of time, but you're probably going to go through more than one of them. I went through 2 of them. What you're going to find is that as those brass bristles start to fly out, the thing starts to become pretty sparse. So you put on a new one, and it suddenly makes a big difference in how much ground you can cover. Beyond that, that's pretty much the process. You can see the gigantic difference in how this looked beforehand as compared to afterward. It's a fantastic looking bar once again. It didn't really affect the serviceability of the barbell. We trained on it just fine. The sleeves still rotated. I didn't need to apply any oil to the sleeves or anything like that. The barbell was very useful. It's still just as useful, but now it's set up for a very solid, nice, long lifespan, and it looks great again. So anyway, let us know if you got any ideas or comments or thoughts on how to improve on this, or let us know if it helped you. We would love to know. Let us know in the comments below. As always, we hope this helps you get stronger and live better.